I want to make sure we're recording. So those who missed, they missed. So today, guys, I'm going to do 2 videos, okay? As you know, try to be present as much as possible. I'm going to do 2 short videos, and the short videos that I'm going to do, number one, I kind of gave you guys like a trailer yesterday for y'all that was on Inner Circle. I said, you know, George Zalicki is going to be, you know, here on Friday. So he's going to do a Zoom for us. So I'm really excited about George Zalicki. And I'm going to do another one with Brian Carruthers. If y'all don't know who Brian Carruthers is, I'll get into it. But I want to just highlight George Zalicki before we get into a short video, because I'm only going to do 2, and it's going to be like 9 minutes, 8 minutes. So it's going to be short today. But I want to give y'all a good highlight of who George Zalicki is, because I know like we talk about him, but we don't really, like, some people just don't know who he is and how serious it is. So let me give y'all, I did my homework. I did my homework, right, on George Zalicki. So we can all, for your benefit, so you don't have to, but you can if you want to, but for your benefit. George Zalicki, first of all, he's 82 years old right now, just so y'all know, okay? He's 82. Yeah, Miss Joy, he 82. Oh, I'm gonna get into that in a second. He was a Marine veteran. He also was a dean of college. He was a college dean, okay? A college dean. He was a professor of psychology and sociology. Some of y'all want to maybe know about. He also worked construction, which is interesting. He also played basketball in college. He's 6'6", so he played basketball in college at Providence. He's an ambassador. He was named an ambassador of network marketing in the industry and named to the Hall of Fame in 2018 in industry of network marketing, Hall of Fame. He's also a musician, plays the piano, plays the accordion, has 4 albums. I didn't know that. I didn't really. Has 4 albums, okay? He has 9 children. 9.
Sound about right.
Yeah.
You got all that going on. That sound about right.
Yeah, you got a lot going on, okay? He's 50 years in network marketing, just so y'all know. 50 years, okay? He was 33 years successful before ACN, just so y'all know that portion. He actually was the VP of other companies, has been to the top. I mean, ACN, he built 150,000 in distribution in 21 countries. His volume, monthly volume, yeah, y'all catch this, and I want y'all to catch it because I want y'all to understand it. His volume in ACN was 20 million in revenue a month. That's 240 million in revenue a year. I just want y'all to understand. 240 million in revenue a year was his business in ACN. One of the top earners in network marketing history. Yeah. I just let that soak in.
You said 240 million a month?
Yeah, 20 million in revenue, his business, a month.
Yeah.
And what was the 240?
240 a year, a million revenue a year.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, let me throw this in. That's before Zoom. That's before technology. That's before Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Shaper,
Twitter.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, this one you're gonna love, Miss Joy. He joined ACN in his late 50s. So when he did this, it was late 50s. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I just want to give y'all that. Because sometimes we make a lot of excuses. I'm going to just be honest with y'all. We make a lot of excuses. But this man is somebody who has done a lot, and he's an incredible speaker. But not only that, he's got an incredible resume that it took a lot of work to build that resume of what he's done. So I have so much respect. So I'm promoting this because I'm talking about him. He's coming on. He's going to do our leadership on Friday. And this is the man we get to hear from, and that your team will get to hear from, and people that you really care about. So I just want us to really understand George Zaleki. I'm going to play a quick short clip. It's a lot of information. He's a best-selling author and all that. I'm going to play a quick short clip of him. This is at a leadership training he did. Now, this is, again, years ago. And like I said, it's only about 8 minutes. So just listen to him, and you can understand why we promote George Zaleki so much. So this is just a short clip. So I'm going to go ahead and play it. Let's go to the movies, and we'll be right back.
You are anointed it. If it's going to work, it's going to be because you have made a firm decision that it's going to work for you. See, there's no room for doubt in the heart of a champion. There's no room for it. You see, Dorothea Brand wrote a book many years ago, and she said, the key to success, listen to this, it jumped out of the book on me. Act as though it were impossible to fail, and you will not. Think of the wisdom of that. Imagine if you acted as though there's no way you could lose if you stayed on track, if you did what you were taught. There is no way you could lose. And you believe that. When would you quit? You'd never quit. You said, let me teach you something about the human mind. You know my background is in psychology. I taught it for years. I've been a researcher for years in human development and how the mind functions. And let me tell you something. There might be 8, 10, 12,000 people in this room. I don't even know how many. But I'm going to tell you this. How many people do you see up here? You see one. Well, let me tell you what I know that you're going to know when I'm finished. No two people in this room are going to hear the same thing from me. Isn't that interesting? There's a huge lesson to be learned by that observation. If that is true, and I know that it is, and I'll explain to you why. Because each one of us go through life with what I call perceptional filters. There are parents, our belief systems, our religion, our ethnicity, our race, you name it. These are all out in front of every single one of us. Our education, who influenced us? What are we basically made of? What kind of character do we have? Put these filters in front of you right now. They are you. And they're the only things that you can perceive the present moment through. Nobody gets past the filters. So in nanoseconds, all of that works in nanoseconds to tell you what you're seeing and what you're hearing. Now, given that that's true, who is creating me or you?
You.
Are you getting this? You are making me mean to you what your perceptions allow. That's why some people will leave here and they'll be changed forever. And others won't get a darn thing out of it. They'll just think it's hype and motivation and critical and what have you, and they'll leave here with that. Yet the people are hearing the same thing, aren't they? Huh? So this ought to help you when you're doing this business. I already know that if I do my job, that my job is to present, to offer in a relaxed, confident ownership way. I've got a great opportunity. I hold it that way. I present it as an offer. Whether you laugh at it, whether you jump up and down, whether you jump forward, means nothing. Because that's only a beginning, isn't it? The only thing you want to observe is what you see with your eyes, not what you hear with your ears. Are they doing what the system requires them to do to get to the finish line? This is so simple. You can spare yourself a lot of emotional anguish wishing that people were going to do what you're observing they're not going to do. Do you hear me? So you need to recognize that since you're all going to hear different, but here's something else you don't know. You see me here, I got news for you. There's hundreds of people you don't see that taught me. My professors, my parents, the influences that I've had in my life, the books I've read, the studying I've done, they are now in me going through to you. So you're not hearing George alone. Nobody teaches alone. So we gather wisdom, we gather ideas, and if you have passion and you want to share them with people, you hope that you enliven their spirits, that you give them an internal energy of conviction that says, I can do it, and they erase the past. The past is only a form of recollection in the memory. It is not real. It is what you pull forward, but here's what happens. All too many people keep reliving yesterday's mistakes, yesterday's hurts, yesterday's anguish, and their force, the life force they have, is leaning back like a stranglehold. Or they're standing on their tiptoes with great anxiety, worrying about the future. So now you're like this, and in the middle is now. In the middle is the moment of life, and it's the only moment you've ever had. And if you're here 5 minutes from now, all you've got is another now. When do we make a difference? When do we get started? When do we start studying? When do we change? If you keep waiting, it won't happen. You got to plant your flag. You got to say, I'm going to take this information and use it. Let me tell you what I know after all these years of talking to hundreds of thousands of people. Here's what I know. You already know what I'm saying to you is true. Do you know why? I speak to you, the inner you, the you that knows, that may have forgotten. You see, each of us have at least two people in us. We got a little guy that's afraid of everything. Do you recognize them? And then you got a magnificent you that the Creator put in you to be magnificent. And you let that voice whisper. Whisper. And in your moments of solitude, in quietness, the whisper starts to haunt you, and sometimes you shut it down if it says you must change. Aren't we masters at it, huh? We need to start learning to listen to the whisper, because the whisper is ready to give you what you need. The whisper knows you're a miracle. You see, you were born to succeed. You were born to win. What kind of a creator would put people on a planet and say, go ahead, losers, have at it? So I want to give you some insights. I've gone after this information with passion. And I spent many, many hours contemplating. And it used to bother me a lot why so many magnificent human beings did so little with their lives. Did you ever ask that question? And to me, mediocrity is not doing much with the life you have. Mediocrity is just settling in with the common things around you and getting anesthetized away from greatness. See, greatness responds to passion. We don't need to be cool. We need to get out there and shake the bushes. We need to get out there with pride in ourselves and what we have. We need to speak to people from conviction. You want your PhD in selling? I'll give it to you right now. It's nothing more than transferring a powerful conviction from a seller to a prospect. When you got that in you, you're going to recruit. You don't limp up to nobody. You don't walk up and say, please look at my opportunity. The world is suffering out there, yes or no? People are hurting financially. And you know what? They pretend. Don't you know they pretend? They drive cars they shouldn't be in. They live in houses that they don't really own. They're doing all sorts of crazy things to impress who? People are suffering today. And Greg touched upon it this morning, and I hope you were listening. 70-some million baby boomers hitting the system. If you're not taking care of you and your family, you're not thinking. And I'm going to tell you right now, jobs alone ain't going to do it. We need a plan B. We need to turn off that TV that's nothing but a depressive machine to your spirit and your soul. sit at kitchen tables and go to meetings and offer people hope and life for their futures. That's our job. When we start doing that, you won't walk around afraid of anybody. You're going to walk out there like Dorothea Brand said, act as though it were impossible to fail, and you will not. You've got every tool in the book here. I mean, can you imagine? DVDs, CDs, internet, know what's going. This is a cakewalk of money. But what if you're afraid of yourself? What if you're afraid to talk to somebody? Man, I worked with people.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just 8 minutes.
Well, and I have a list from the top to the bottom of the page.
Oh man. Yeah. George, I love, if y'all never seen his book, it's called Straight Talk, right? That's one of the books he wrote. And Straight Talk is like out of line, man. It's like on a whole nother level. And that's why I think I love George, is because he comes with that mindset of straight talk. He's not going to give you the fluff. He's not going to give you the flowers. He going to just give it to you straight. Like, hey, I don't got time to sugarcoat nothing. I'm going to just give it to you. So I love George in that respect. So, you know, I just wanted to show a quick clip of him, you know, because, you know, George is like I say, he's coming on Friday, and he's going to give us his all. And, you know, him now being 82 years old, you know, he's older now, right? But he is just incredible, you know, what he's done in his life. So I just want us to really promote for him this Friday, because he's really going to give it his all. And that's the one thing I do know. Every time he speaks, he gives it his all, no matter what he's on. I listened to a leadership he did for his group, because, you know, he's retired now. He's corporate, and he's doing he's you know, doing personal development all around the world. And, you know, he sold his business to his partner, who was Art Napolitano. So I saw him do it. A leadership he did about 3 weeks ago. And man, like everybody jumped on it. They maxed out actually on that Zoom call. So everybody jumped on it. It was incredible. So I just wanted us to leave it with a clip. And now I'm just gonna do a quick clip of, excuse me, Brian Carruthers. You know, I appreciate Brian Carruthers because Brian Carruthers, you know, he's also a legend in the industry. Just to give you a good background, he's collaborated with Grant Cardone. He's been in GoPro. He spoke at that event with Eric Worre, as well as, you know, George Zalicki did too. You know, at 30 years old, he made his first million, okay? At 30 years old, he made his first million in network marketing. And he did it for 10 years straight, and now 20 years. So 20 years, he's made over $20 million. In network marketing. I want y'all to think about that. $20 million. Now, we have people in our company, actually our mentors, Mr. Pat Mazer, who's done over that, okay? I just want y'all to understand that. That's the leadership that we have, okay? He's done over that. But as a legend, he's done it. You know, this gentleman has been incredible. Brian Carruthers. If y'all haven't read his book, I recommended his book. I got a bunch of copies.
Building Empire.
Right, Building an Empire, right? I got bunches of copies, so I can give y'all some if y'all don't have it. But yeah, I've recommended it a long time ago. Like, I told people to read this book, Building an Empire. It's an incredible book. I remember reading it when I first got started in the industry. So definitely read that book. But guys, let me leave y'all with some statistics before we get into the video. Because I'm looking at everybody and I'm like, man, you know, you guys are listening, you guys are here. But like George Zalicki said, there's two perspectives. Everybody's gonna take what I'm saying right now to a different way. So I just want to put y'all in perspective. Let me give y'all some stats so y'all can glean on this for a second. You know, the average millionaire's age is 62 years old. I'm just gonna leave that for y'all. The average millionaire, 62 years old. You know, 1% of millionaires are before the age of 35.
Yeah, I believe.
1%. You know, Dave Ramsey, he did a study. It was over 10,000 millionaires. It's probably one of the greatest, like not greatest, but as far as that kind of sample size of people, he did a study with 10,000, over 10,000 millionaires. Do you know that the average millionaire out of those 10,000, they didn't become a millionaire until 28 years. 28 years of diligently doing what they're doing. I want y'all to think about that. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because sometimes we think that everything is supposed to be a get rich quick and oh man, I've done this for 3 years, 5 years. Why haven't I seen $1 million yet? Well, that's not the case. and we need to grow our minds to get to that level. And when you make it to $1 million, let me tell you something, that doesn't make you happy. That doesn't make you happy. The money is just a byproduct, right, of changing people's lives. But how many people we know in the entertainment world or in different spaces that have made millions, even billions, and some of them have committed suicide, and some of them have lived on and not cared about people and lived a miserable life, right?
They didn't.
So
They
it's
grow
the
their
journey.
minds and couldn't take care of that $1 million.
Yeah,
They didn't know what to do with it
They
yeah,
don't know, yeah.
because
They
the
don't know
personal
what to do
development,
with
they
it.
didn't have it.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
the 1 million is gone.
The 1 million is gone.
Look, Steve Francis right now.
Yeah, he's a perfect example too. Yeah,
Made millions. Look at him right now.
yeah, and lost.
Yes.
So I just want to throw that out there because sometimes I know we hear this stuff on personal development. We go to the trainings, we go to the seminars, and we think, oh man, I'm not getting anywhere. No, you're getting somewhere. Manny, you're getting somewhere. Jessica, you're getting somewhere. Cody, you're getting somewhere. Jason, you're getting somewhere. Okay? Charlene, you're getting somewhere. Joy, you're getting somewhere. Lamar, you're getting somewhere. But you gotta embrace that because you can easily slip out and say, man, it ain't working for me.
Mm.
No, you have grown. But in order to get to that type of money, that type of income and helping people, you gotta grow. You gotta continue. 28 years. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
28 years. That's a long time, y'all.
The beauty
I
of
always been doing
ACN,
ACN for 7.
shoot, I've been doing it for 3. And the beauty of ACN is you can't make me quit for nothing. That residual, compared to what I
And I'm
gotta
not-
pay every month, man, please.
Exactly.
I can stop right
And
now.
I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting.
Shoot,
Don't
I
have
can
time to
stop right
quit.
now. I'm not stopping right now, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Goodness, what? That'd be stupid.
I'm not quitting either. I don't
I'm
have,
gonna lose money quitting.
Yeah. So I'm
I have
gonna
5.
give y'all. Let me give y'all Dave. Let me give y'all Brian Carruthers. This is why, and this is what I was talking to y'all about yesterday. Brian Carruthers, he said, and I love this snippet he did, that why he stayed with the same company for over 20 years. I want y'all to really listen to what he said because this is very key. So I'm gonna play it. It's Brian Carruthers. Again, why he did stay with the same company. Now let me go ahead and pull it up real quick. Give me a second. All right, can you guys see it?
yes.
All right, perfect. All right, let's go to the movies. It's a short clip, guys. It's only 7 minutes. But I want y'all to hear what he said, why he stayed with the same company, again, for over 20 years.
Hey guys, Brian Carruthers here, and I have to tell you, I have a reason why I stayed, a lot of reasons why I had to stay with the same network marketing company for 21 years. Today I was on the couch on a Sunday afternoon watching a movie called Peaceful Warrior with my son Talon, who's 13 years old. And it caused me to do a lot of thinking today. And if you have not watched Peaceful Warrior, which is based on the book by Dan Millman called The Way of the Peaceful Warrior, I would highly recommend that you guys watch that movie. So here's the thing. When I got to the $1 million ring, there is a ring in our company that when you make $1 million in a year, you get this really beautiful Super Bowl looking ring. And I always thought that when I get to that point and I get that ring, that I would be massively happy. That would make life amazing. I mean, happiness will be found when I'm wearing that ring. Here's what I found. The night I got the ring was an amazing night. But the day after was just like every other day. Happiness didn't come because I got the award. And what the Peaceful Warrior movie reminded me, which today was the second time that I actually watched the movie. I wanted to watch it with my son who hadn't seen it yet. I was reminded that I could have done so many different things. For example, when I was building my business, the leader of my second biggest leg left the business. He left. He was my best friend for 10 years. I talked to him literally every day, multiple times a day, for the better part of 10 years. When he left the business, it was heart-wrenching. Let me tell you, some of you guys, maybe you can relate to that. I could have quit. I could have gone with him. I could have made a number of different decisions, but I had to stay. Why? Because I had to learn how to navigate through such a process. Our company was bought several years ago. We were on the New York Stock Exchange. Our company was taken private. New management came in, and they made some decisions that I didn't agree with. Now, I could have run off to find some other network marketing company that was making different decisions, maybe ones that I agreed with more. But if I had done that, I would have not learned how to navigate through. And I simply would have just found another company with a whole other set of problems, a whole other set of things that I did not agree with. And so my hope today is to just share with you guys that it's not the destination, but it's the journey. It's who you become along the way that means a lot. It's literally in the thick of doing what you do, just reminding yourself, like the Peaceful Warrior, to be present, to not miss all the little things. Enjoy every success, savor every challenge or hiccup, because those are all opportunities for you to learn, for you to grow. And frankly, the person I am today, 25 years in network marketing, I promise you, the person that I am today is a result of the people I met, the lessons that I learned, not only the good times, but also the challenging times. It molded me into the person I am today. And that's why after 21 years with the same company, is the company doing everything perfectly every day? Of course not. Is my team disappointing me from time to time? Members of the team? Of course. Am I not the leader that I should be showing up as on a regular basis? Absolutely. I'm failing every single day. But I can tell you that I'm proud to say I've been with the same network marketing company for 21 years. Why? I chose to be a part of this company because I really liked the mission. I fell in love with the mission of the company, with the product, or in our case, the service that I fell in love with. The compensation plan, people say, well, I like this about it, but I don't like that about it. Look, it is what it is. It's a great compensation plan. But here's what I found. I found that it's not the company, it's not the product, it's not the compensation plan, it's me, it's you, it's the you factor. If there are other people that are thriving in the business that you're in right now, and you're not, it's not the company, it's not the comp plan, it's not the product, it's you, it's me. We control what we control. And that's why if others are succeeding, it just goes to show that success is possible. You know, if God is blessing your neighbor in your business, don't be jealous. Don't get upset. Just be happy that at least you know God's in your neighborhood. If he's blessing your neighbor, at least he's in the neighborhood. So guys, again, I've been in the same company for 21 years, and I will still be in this company 21 years from now, because I know there's a lot of success yet to come. There's a lot of opportunities for me to learn from different circumstances that I'll get to grow from. And I promise you, I will remind myself every time that it's needed to enjoy the process, to savor every moment, to enjoy all the little things, because at the end of the day, it's not the next ring, it's not that next income level, it's not another $1 million in the bank that's going to make my life any better than it already is. So with that, guys, hopefully I shared something with you here today that maybe you can't relate with yet. But you guys know that it's always great to sit at the feet of people who came before us, maybe your parents or your grandparents, people who have lived a long life, because they've got a lot of knowledge and wisdom because they've lived it through experience. And when you can sit at the feet of somebody who's 60 years old, 70 years old, 80 years old, 90 years old, and ask them, hey, what are your life lessons? What are the things that I can benefit by learning now, so I don't have to wait decades from now to learn those lessons? I can apply them in my life. Guys, I would encourage you to do exactly that. You know, here I am, 21 years in the same company. The benefit that I can pass along to you is what I'm sharing with you right now. I hope you guys decide to buckle in, enjoy the ride and your journey, and when you make it to the top, again, you'll enjoy it, but you'll realize what I'm saying to you right now, that was not exactly what it was expected to be. You're going to realize having a lot of money and getting those big rings, it is great, and people are going to celebrate you, but you're going to look back and you're going to say, oh my gosh, it really was the journey, not the destination. See you soon.
All right, guys. So obviously, you know, it's pretty straightforward.
But what do you guys, did you guys see anything that maybe spoke to you about, you know, I know we went over 2 videos. What did you guys see? Anything you guys could glean from this, from what they were saying?
What I learned is, and I learned this from the beginning of, you know, the business, is to stay positive for every success throughout, and stay positive throughout the challenges, and enjoy the process. Fall in love with the mission, and we can only control what we can control, and you know, I fell off a little bit as far as like falling in love with the challenges. And, you know, that's the person who I was. I was customer service. I loved helping. So, I'm gonna watch that movie, Peaceful Warrior.
You did?
I haven't watched it yet, so I'm gonna watch it.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it either. You know, but I definitely want to I definitely want to look at it. Now that he's recommended, I was like, man, let me check this movie out. So I'm gonna look at it as well. But seems like a really good movie from what he's talking about. So, I mean, just the title alone, Peaceful Warrior.
Yeah.
That alone is like interesting.
Title will really get you already.
Yeah.
My
Anybody
thing,
else?
my thing here is from last week, going back to the first video. You know, I've been facing some adversity, some things that have, you know, hurt me personally, mentally, whatever the case may be. But what I learned from the first video, gotta push that to the past and keep striving for the future. So I'm gonna take all of that energy that he was talking about in the first video, and no matter how I feel about what happened last week, during the course of that week, I'm not gonna let it affect me. I'm gonna keep moving as a champion. I'm gonna keep moving as the person I set out to be in this business. And I'm gonna show myself better than I can tell other people that, hey, I am what I am. I'm still the Mamba, and y'all finna see me make some noise. So I took that from that first video about not worrying about what you done been through, what's been dragging you down, everything like that. What may be on your mind that's negative, just block all that out. Get straight to the positive. Don't worry about it. As long as you keep pushing, you're gonna succeed in what you want to succeed in. And that was the main thing I took out of both videos because it spoke straight to my heart.
Wow. And, you know, and that's so, man, that's great, Cody, because, man, you know, just like you said it best, you know, a lot of times we relive moments, relive past, and, you know, I think, you know, what he was talking about, those perceptual, what do you call them, perceptual filters, right, that are in for all of us, right? And so, yeah, man, we with you, you know, and I know, you know, you're facing some challenges, but, you know, what he said was growing through them challenges, and you know, you have wisdom to give to others, you know, that are going through the same challenges throughout their life. And, you know, that in itself, you know, everything we go through, you know, it's not just for us, it's so that we can pass on and help others once we get through it. And so I appreciate you, Cody, for, you know, definitely sharing that, you know, with us, you know. So Mamba, let's do it. It was the Mamba's birthday this week too, so. That's the truth. Yeah, that is.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, Jordan.
The Mama's cool, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, the Jordan. Jordan is Jordan. You know. Yeah. Anybody else?
Oh, we got plenty of
Go
people.
ahead,
ready to
Lamar. Go ahead,
While I
Lamar.
was saying, while I was laughing and joking, I might as well go ahead and, you know, fill in and pick up on the conversation. I just really appreciate everybody on this call, and these calls are so important to me, and I make them to them every time I can, because not to take anything from the videos or Mrs. Zaliki, but he mentioned something that Jessica mentioned. If it wasn't last week, it was the week before. Not to let that, I think she was talking to Mr. Jason actually, saying don't let that voice on this shoulder get you off path from the voice that's on this shoulder. And Mrs. Zaliki said the exact same thing. It's group right here. And another thing he also touched on was the world is suffering. JT, how many times have you said that? There's so many people looking for an opportunity. They're suffering. We have to reach out. Like thing from the video, but I just appreciate what we got going on right here, right now, because we talk about that all the time, just between ourselves, and we can learn a whole lot more from, you know, the professionals, of course. But I just appreciate this.
Yeah.
That just touched me as both were talking. I was like, man, that's what Jessica and JT just said last week. The exact same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is what's up.
And you know, the thing is, Lamar, like George actually said something that I think we could take from it too. Was, what did he say? He said, "This ain't, y'all see me, but I'm just a product of all the people that are in me,
Yeah.
Right.
speaking to me, sewing to me. I mean, talking to me, the books I read, the this and that, like, you know." So, you know, that's another thing is, you know, you know, you see, you know, the things that we talk about today, but man, I've been through personal development. JT's been through personal development, you know, reading books, you know, studying, you know, what the Lord has done in my life and all the things that he put, like, it's just so many things that I could attribute to, you know. And you're right, you know.
But during to these calls and listening to everybody, see, Jessica, she had the language already. You had the language already. You had already shared that with us. Both of y'all had already shared that with us. Yeah, don't listen to that voice. Listen to this one.
Yeah.
The world needs
a lot of times
help.
we listen to that wrong voice. That's
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly.
So,
I like
Man,
what with George, he said his wisdom first came with his parents.
yeah, yeah. And you know, and that's the thing. Like we all get it from somewhere. Sometimes it's not from the parents, right? But not only that. Sometimes it's not. It can be from the parents too.
Yeah.
If you know, yeah, you honor your parents, but it can be also the things that they didn't do, right? They gave
Right.
you wisdom, you know, along the way, you know, that helped. I mean, that's just the truth too. So, but it's the perception. Like, would you take it as? Y'all remember that story of the two brothers that were
Yeah,
twins?
you turned me on to it. I was just about to ask you about that. Yeah, one of them gave the excuse, look at my
Right.
dad. Why would I
Yep.
do that? No one said, look at
Yep.
my dad. That's the way I came out. That's why
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. So that's the same thing. The two perceptions, the same exact,
Circumstances.
upbringing.
Mhm.
It's just two different perspectives they did, you know. And you know, the long story short, for the people who don't know that story, it was just two brothers. You know, the dad was, you know, he was this, he was that, he was in and out of prisons, and you know, he was, you know, incarcerated, and stuff
Alcoholic.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, alcoholic, all that, right? He had all kinds of
Woman beater, all that. Yeah.
Yep, all that.
All that.
And then in the end, one of the brothers ended up doing the same thing, right? He ended up getting into getting in problems. And then the other one went on to be very, very successful. And when they asked him the question, how did you end up here? They gave the exact same thing, but with two different answers. It was like the one that got into trouble, he said, with a father like mine, how could I not be in this
Yes.
lifestyle where I'm in the prisons and I'm doing bad and I'm doing all this. And then the other one said the same thing. With a father like mine, how could I not turn away and do all the things that I could set out to do? So again, it's all about perspective too. You know, like what's your perspective on it? So yeah, that was a story that really made sense to me. That really stuck out as well. Anybody else?
I do. I have something.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
long list, but I'm not gonna get to all of them. I agree with Lauren, Jessica, that you know when you you have two voices always fighting. But before I listened to the wrong one, but I learned I'm listening to the right one now, and I think good. And also from George, I took like God created everybody. I mean, according to, you know, from him, he created a magnificent me. So why would I think otherwise? So now I get my confidence back.
Oh man.
Yeah, there we go.
Little by
There
little,
we go.
but I'm getting there. I used to have full of confidence, to tell you the truth, but I lost it somehow. But now I'm getting it back. And that's why when I heard it, like God created a magnificent you, and why you cannot go against that. Whatever you do,
Right.
magnificent. So I am magnificent. So I'm gonna do what a magnificent person do. And personal wise, I learned something now that's been bugging me for as long as I could remember. It says no two people get something out of a situation or of listening the same way. I already told you I have two sons. We've been through a lot, and I mean a lot. But when they grew up, I found out they have different different outcome on what we've been through. My youngest one said, I don't mind going through what we've been through because I know what to do already. And if I get so broke again, that's fine. I'll survive. Now my other one, there is no way I'm going back to that place. I mean, they were in the same house. They have the same mom. They have the same dad. They have the same situation, but they grew up with different outcome, with different mindset. And I was so, what? When Ronald said, no, ma, I've been through that. It's fine. I can do it again if it's necessary. But Ronald said, no way. There is no way I'm going back to that place. And I was just amazed and how it was, and now that it's like everything is coming back to me, I think I tried to erase everything that's really bad. That I don't want to think about it, but I think I better, sometimes I need to learn from it.
Yeah, and that's the
And
wisdom.
it says not
and
the destination, but the journey. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying the journey with
Yeah.
you guys. Hey,
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
this team.
yeah.
We love
yeah.
you.
My son said, you
That's
always
it.
talk about your team. Of course, I'm with them like almost every day.
Yeah,
That's
I always talk about my team, he said. He needs to be in here. Oh, Lou.
Remember, we're family.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all.
yeah. And we appreciate you, and that's what he said. Enjoy the journey, and that you navigate, learn how to navigate. He was thankful,
Yes.
Brian Carruthers said that, he was thankful that he learned how to navigate. I learned how to navigate. You know how grateful I am that, man, I had some, great leaders that I don't need to name them, but they were good leaders, and I appreciated them. They taught me some things, and I'm grateful for that. But when they moved on and this and that, I learned how to navigate. Are you kidding me? Now I know exactly what. Are you kidding me? I can make it through that.
Yes.
I had some great leaders, in my organization. Some of them left, and some of them are still here. But I'm grateful that I learned how to navigate through it. So now I know how to teach, how to teach through it, and show others that it can be done, And so, I'm grateful for the journey, and it's progress, right?
Never thought about it that way, JT.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the journey that you went through, and I know that we know the stories, but like we don't know inside your head what
Yeah.
you were conducting, and coming up with different strategies and ways, and it's amazing.
Yeah. And
Can I say something?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I have a meeting right now. Yeah, no, this is always on time, the personal development. I mean, it's like such a big part of us. Like without it we can't grow. And I think at 19 years old, when I was introduced to network marketing, I got addicted to personal development, and it was so painful, but it was so rewarding to be able to learn how to fail over and over again. And one of the things that like when you get addicted to it, you're just like, man, I want to fail fast so that I can get good and I can lead the team, and like a couple things that I got out of it was average millionaire, you said, was over 60 years old.
62 years old.
Yeah, 62 years old. And I know this is like so random, like what I'm talking about, but like J-Lo became, like in her 40s and 50s, became like the whole brand that she is right now. And like, and so to see like Melissa hit RVP right now, and it's just so enlightening, because like I've been in ACN now for 7 years, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just, you can't give up. You just got to keep on going. You got to, wherever you are in your life, you just keep on fighting to just stay plugged in and do the best that you can. And then I just remember, GT, our mentors used to say, you're not an ETL until you create an ETL and lose an ETL. You're not a TC or RD until you make an RD and then lose an RD.
Yep.
When you're an RVP, create an RVP, then lose an RVP. SVP,
Yep.
create an SVP, and then lose an SVP. So imagine, guys, what that feels like, and imagine what, I know, JT, you've done it, create an RD, lose an RD. I've created an RD, lose an RD. I mean, you guys have to imagine how that feels, and to just be able to go through it though, and know, you know what, this is just part of the journey. I get to keep on trucking through and keep on fighting and create new leaders, because however that fizzled out, whatever, it was just timing and it was out of our hands, you know, if you did your best. And so I just want to say I'm grateful because George Zalicki, I have Straight Talk. That book like changed my life because it was just so direct, and that network marketing is the best business. You guys, I'm like right here dropping off food for one of my clients. Let me tell you, corporate, you make money, but there's nothing like what we do. The purpose, what you pour into your team, like there's no synergy and structure that can support this high morale with building people and pouring into people. Corporate, it's all about just you making your bucks, serving your clients. That's it. There's nothing about, you know, seeing people win in the biggest way possible. And so I got to walk into my appointment, but thank you so much, JT. We're so grateful for your leadership, and everyone on here is amazing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing. And that, you know, I mean, I couldn't have said it any better than that. I mean, you know, guys, the challenges are fun to me now. Like it's crazy when I get a new challenge. And like Charlene said, this is incredible that we get this platform where, you know, we could
how
see
somebody
people
can quit.
who can grow. Yeah, and that's,
we talking about regional directors, regional vice presidents that quit. I don't understand that.
yeah, and it's just, again, that's what I mean. Like things that we look at.
There's
You know,
the ETL.
yeah.
Like I said, I stopped today. $25 a month, $50 a year.
Yeah.
I'm not losing if I stop today and don't do anything else. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's hard to understand the mind of what people do and why they do it and what they do, and it's so interesting to me because, you know, there's a lot of these other factors that they let in. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Have free energy.
And not to mention, here's the crazy part. Not to mention that ACN is part-time. It's not like you have to be fully in. You don't have to. In fact, I encourage people, listen, get yourself a job, learn, and then you'll appreciate ACN when you get to it. I'm, you know, and so you don't have to be full-time. Like that's, in fact, you're not really supposed to.
Nobody is. Nobody's full time.
Until the money is hitting you in the face to where you say, okay, if I lose this, if I don't get to it, then I'll you know, that's just the reality, guys. So how could you quit on a part-time business or spare time business?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
especially,
I'm just thinking about it. I'm not making a lot of money with ACN, but I like it better than, I was in this company for over 40 years. And I cannot for the life of me, why did I stay there that long? And then when I retire, I don't have money.
And that's the reality. Like most people go to
me?
work. Most people go to work and then they don't end up with it. And by the way, in the book Building an Empire, he actually talks about that. He actually talked about his career in real estate and what he was making great money in real estate, what he was doing, and what he learned along the way with his dad and all that. So, you know, read the book Building an Empire. It's a great book, but listen, you don't want to rack your brain by why people do what they do.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of different factors. There's a lot of factors. Listen, I don't want to get into it, but there's a lot of factors why people are RD and why they no longer RD, why they ETL and no longer ETL. There's a lot of things you can rack your brain around, but that's not the point. The point is we embrace the challenges, and the challenges come, and I'm grateful for them because now I know what to do, you know,
Yeah.
and get better. So anybody else before, because I know
I think Manny is
yeah, we're at
raising her hand.
over my time. We're 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock your time. So I want to make sure I give people the proper time.
I'm gonna just make it really quick, kind of wrap it up.
Okay.
Wrap it up.
All
right.
Even though maybe Lamar might.
What you say?
Get
you later.
That's cool. I welcome you. So just the two things with what we were talking about to wrap it up, guys. The one thing I took out of it was number one, people will always hear differently from you. So the way that we're talking, okay, get to RD, get to RVP, lose this, lose that, go through the challenges. What I took it as is that maybe they don't see it that way. Maybe they took it differently than us. So, but also you have to stick with it, and you have to understand that what's for one person may not be for the same.
Yes.
So that's what I took out of that. And then also, if God is blessing your neighbor, what he said, don't be upset. Just know that God is in the neighborhood.
Yes.
So I went ahead and swiped that one, y'all. So y'all can swipe it too.
Yeah, definitely. I swiped that one. That one I've heard it, but definitely it makes sense that it's the same company, same comp plan. Why are some people winning and why would I be losing? Well, it's because it's you. You're the factor. You have to you have to embrace, you have to become that person. And that's what I do embrace is like, man, why is, Rockstar promoting RDs like crazy? Why is there a 100-day RD? You know what I mean? Like, why is there a coalition RD every week? It's the same comp plan, same system, same everything. What's the variation? Well, the variation is us. The variation is you. And you have to become that person who it needs to be. And it'll catch up. Don't get me wrong. I've seen people jump out the gate, win fast, and then I've seen people go down fast. I've seen people go slow. I've seen people go slow. And then next thing you know, boom. By the way, James Allen, okay? You all know who James is? Yeah.
I love him.
Did you know he was a 7-year ETL though?
Yeah.
So I can be.
Yeah.
In one of his speeches, he did that. He was talking about mindset. He said that he was an ETL for a long time.
7 years. Yeah. See, we see James Allen today.
I didn't know
We
that.
see James Allen those 7 years being an ETL. And people probably talked about him and said, man, this dude ain't gonna never get to SVP. Like, you see what I'm saying? Franco LaFranco didn't do anything for 2 years. He made $0. Okay? Nothing. And then next thing you know, he went from, I think it's some crazy number where he went 18 months, he became SVP. It's ridiculous. Like, after that, you know what I mean? Like, so again, there's things that happen.
He's having a training this Sunday too, right?
Yeah, on customers. He's going to do an advanced customer.
Yeah.
Anybody else before we go, guys? Because I know we're getting over time. I don't want to.
Jason, you all right over there? You good?
I know he's at work.
Yeah, I'm at work, but I haven't done nothing in about 4 hours.
Oh, it's dead?
That's good. That's good money. That's good money. That's good money.
Yesterday I only did 3 cars. Today I've only done 3 cars. So I wasted more money than I made.
Yeah. Good deal. Good deal.
Anybody else? Anybody before we
I think everybody's journey is different. It's just a choice of whether you're gonna stick with that journey or move away.
I'm liking my journey right now.
And let's continue on the journey, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. But I do want to make sure that during this time, like, we really, look at our notes, but let's apply it as always. It's great to get on the call and we listen to each other and we encourage each other, but let's continue to go out and apply it, right? And let's learn and get better. And as we go out today, remember, Friday, guys, tomorrow, George Zalicki, okay? Promote like crazy today. Promote like crazy today because he's going to bring it tomorrow. And really, I'm just excited for those who hear what he has to say. And I don't want to miss that moment because I hate to bring this up, but George Zalicki, okay, 82 years old. Okay, he's older. Okay, and the reason why he stepped down, the reason why he retired, and went corporate is because he's older. Is not as good. Okay, so I don't want to miss that moment. Does that make sense? I don't want to miss. I don't want to. I'm not wishing anything bad on him. He's lived a great life, but he hasn't been around for a while. He's been
That's
around for a
right.
long time, and he hasn't been able to do things the way he used to. Okay, so I don't want to miss this moment where we get to hear from him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And who knows if he's going to do another one for ACN or what he's going to
Yeah.
do.
Right.
I can't
We
wait.
don't know. So let's promote it. Let's promote it. Let's promote it, and let's get others to that. Get your team to that event. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Great session today.
Love you
Got
back.
a lot from everybody. We sharpened each other, and yeah, let's make it happen. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
you too.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
y'all.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
Later, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.